I'm Joe Laszlo with the Interactive Advertising Bureau. We're here at IAB's Programmatic Marketplace, where we just wrapped up our town hall sessions. IAB town halls require active participation, discuss major issues of the day, and help set the IAB's agenda. Let's hear what they had to say about securing premium inventory in a supply crisis world.
Hi, I'm Neil Sweeney. I'm the president and founder of Juice Mobile.
Hi, my name's Allyson. I am a partner manager on the publisher side at TripleLift.
So we're here at the IAB. We just finished a panel where we were speaking specifically about securing premium inventory in the programmatic space, with their potential being a potential supply crisis into the future.
Predominantly, we spoke about header bidding and if that is a solution in today's marketplace. Currently, the consensus was that header bidding is an option and is a market function of how we can, how advertisers could really, I guess, like drill down and in real time access different inventory sources on a publisher. However, it is not the end-all be-all, and that this is only a movement in the right direction to more real-time bidding, but is not necessarily the end-all be-all.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that we spoke about was this notion of header bidding being almost a yield tactic, where trying to expose inventory which has historically not been available to others is clearly an inefficiency in the marketplace. And so header bidding as a tactic to kind of improve overall yield for everybody is a good thing. But I think one of the things that came up was great that all the inventory is being exposed and everything can be bid upon, but then there's this notion of, as more and more people are coming into the real-time ecosystem, the supply, and specifically in mobile, is not necessarily growing at the same level. And this is dangerous because I think as an industry we're not necessarily conscious of that, and that this could potentially lead to a supply crisis down the road, where we've got huge events taking place, US election, Black Friday, holiday, etc., where as more and more people are coming into this ecosystem, the supply isn't growing. And because it's a dynamic environment, the pricing is going to go up. So in a situation where you're not able to expose yourself to that incremental pricing, what do? And one of the concepts that was discussed was this notion of a futures marketplace, where rather than relying almost entirely on the real-time pipe, that agencies, brands, and buyers would find the balance between a futures market where they would buy guaranteed impressions and supplement them with the real-time market. And I think, and you can agree or disagree, is that I think the consensus amongst the group was that it's inevitable that the industry will start to find this equilibrium or these balance between these two things.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the consensuses. And one thing you mentioned in particular about header bidding is that there is a inherent problem with mobile. And another issue that was brought up is that there's also an inherent problem on the publisher side, where a lot of publishers using their current ad server, most of them DFP, are not able to access real-time data about their inventory, and therefore they aren't able to really maximize CPMs, maximize revenues, and maximize yield based off of that. And advertisers aren't able to use that either.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing, and again, header bidding is a reflection on this, is that as the industry gets increasingly more efficient, header bidding is a good example of that. It's providing or pulling back inventory that was not readily accessible back to the market to be bid upon. The next iteration of that is that inventory that is potentially sitting in a direct environment on the ad server of the publisher needs to find a way into an ecosystem or into a platform or into an area where it can be compared dynamically with that inventory that is actually being traded in real time. And that is sort of one of the things that came up was we're really almost dealing with two pools of inventory. There is this real-time pool of inventory, which is this very dynamic market, and then there is this direct pool of inventory, which is almost a black box. And then I think everybody in the room sort of agreed that in order for us to move forward, these two disparate pools of inventory need to come together so that you can make more intelligent decisions as to how you want to sell your inventory, how you want to price your inventory, what you want to buy, etc. That was one of the things that was definitely brought up.
Yeah. I think one of the underlying takeaways was that, and a member mentioned this, is that there are different technologies and different ways in which to assess each, or I guess to go about each tactic and to go about reaching your end goal. And so header bidding might be great for certain campaigns or for a publisher to monetize certain types of inventory, but it may not be. But like, for example, the open exchange could be great for other types of inventory.
Yeah. So overall, lots of really good discussion. I think some of the takeaways for me were that header bidding, while a great tactic, improving a lot of efficiency is not going to solve all the problems or solve all the challenges for brands and agencies, but that it is header bidding in combination with things like programmatic direct, the real-time pipe, private marketplace, all these things. It's in combination that this is how buyers and agencies and publishers are going to actually move their inventory and buying around accordingly in the future.